before we run through today. I had only kind of ran through chapter 3 for now. So that's what I feel confident with going through. But if we feel like a move is being pushed, we will go through on 4. I can't do this study without our Bible. I got one in front of me, but I want to keep that up so you guys could read through. Even though on the edit, when we go through, we usually post a different thing for you to read. All right. With that being said, we're going to have to fire our weatherman, our meteorologist. The app that I'm using earlier, like literally 5 minutes ago, said that it was 49 degrees and it felt like it was 45 degrees, but now it's saying that it's 63 degrees. And with that being said, when that was up to date, it was saying that it was going to probably get as high as 84 degrees today, and then it's low, probably if anything around 54. With that being said, it did say that there was the north winds coming down at 9 miles per hour, but that we could receive gusts up to 14 miles per hour. I didn't think that was too bad, a 45 degree wind chill. Sunrise, the same thing, 7:25. It's an overall sunny day, same thing as yesterday, pretty much. With that being said, we are in the second book of Samuel, chapter 3. It's getting heavy now. When I was researching and looking into this, I had a buzzkill. I don't want to turn this off from reading on, but it just hit me that David. Oh man, David just goes down because David's living this sinful life. So, and I was looking at David as a hero, but it does say, when I was looking into my study, most people do come to the agreement that if David didn't do certain things, I mean, his story wouldn't have been kind of told. It wouldn't be recorded, rather. So it seemed like he had to fail. Everybody was failing at that point in time, and it shows God's love and his it shows God's love so much to see how I think there was already hell on earth. I'm over here at this point looking and saying like, all right, Samuel's gone. Remember, Samuel passed away. Saul passed away. Saul wasn't really anything to cheer about as a man either. But we see that God, the only option God had at that point, I mean, he could have ended everybody at that, but he just shows his love. He shows his love towards David, and David's messing up. Personally, I think we've all been there. I think we've been there. I know I have, where you don't think God is gonna forgive you. That's the guilt kicking in. But God comes through and shows you his love, even though you have done so wrong in life. You haven't even been obedient. You haven't even been making the moves he's been telling you to do for the last 10 years. And he comes through and tells you, like, look, I'm still showing you the way. I'm still going to be here. Just repent. Come my way. David doesn't do that. Saul didn't do that. We saw what happened. Personally, in my walk of discipling, God pulls me back all the time, throws that hook inside my jaw. I got to the point where I was like, I got to behave. There is no playing around. The time is ending near where there is no return, repent, renewing in a cyclical cycle. I needed to change. I got hit in the head very hard when that came to speak. It was with the book, it was with the living word, and it stuck to me. I never understood the Bible at all. I opened it, I'd been to church, I didn't understand. I had religion, I didn't have the relationship. So as we dive deeper into this, I'm hoping that somehow this touches you. So that's why I invite other people to read segments with us. Like I said, we got one individual who he's doing good. I'm happy to see where he's at in life and stuff. And God shows that he loves him to this day. God shows that he loves all of us. Sometimes there's different segments I want to go into. And we'll probably do that with the highlights segments on the Return, Repent, Renewed YouTube channel. This one is the Words Time channel. There are 2 different ones. I'll post both those subscription links at the end on our YouTube edit on this. But with that being said, I lost the train of thought. I think we need to just dive into the word. That's with me just going on and blabbing. But I think things are blocked off. God does love us, but I think when He opens up a door, we have that opposition come through instead of the opportunity that we take. So God does love us, but we do need to keep our obedience. With that being said, we are going to now take a walk with David and see what's going on. The first thing I do realize with David is he got a lot of kids. Lesson learned. I don't know what's going on with David. Just the brother needs to stop. Okay, that's God hit me in the head as well and said, Christopher, watch David. You need to stop. Okay, so I learned my lesson. There's multiple things. I could look at it. I think I was reading Esther or Ruth the other day, and I learned something from even women ministry. You can always learn something. So I hope the second book of Samuel, chapter 3, touches somebody today. Now there was long war between the house of Saul and the house of David, but David waxed stronger and waxed stronger, and the house of Saul waxed weaker and weaker. And unto David were sons born in Hebron, and his firstborn was Amnon of Ahinoam the Jezreelitess, and his second Chileab of Abigail, the wife of Nabal the Carmelite, and the third Absalom the son of Maacah, the daughter of Talmai, king of Geshur, and the fourth Adonijah the son of Haggith, and the fifth Shephatai the son of Abital, and the sixth Ithream by Eglah, David's wife. These were the born to David in Hebron. And it came to pass, while there was war between the house of Saul and the house of David, that Abner made himself strong for the house of Saul. Verse 7. And Saul had a concubine, whose name was Rizpah, the daughter of Aiah. And Ishbosheth said to Abner, Wherefore hast thou gone in unto my father's concubine? Then was Abner very wroth for the words of Ishbosheth, and said, Am I a dog's head, which against Judah do show kindness this day unto the house of Saul thy father, to his brethren, and to his friends, and have not delivered thee into the hand of David, that thou chargest me today with a fault concerning this woman? So do God to Abner, and more also. Verse 9, Except as the Lord hath sworn to David, even so I do to him, to translate the kingdom from the house of Saul, and to set up the throne of David over Israel and over Judah, from Dan even to Beersheba. And he could not answer Abner a word again, because he feared him. And Abner sent messengers to David on his behalf, saying, Who is this land? Whose is the land? Saying also, Make thy league with me, and behold, my hand shall be with thee to bring about all Israel unto thee. Verse 13, And he said, Well, I will make a league with thee, but one thing I require of thee, that is, thou shalt not see my face, except thou first bring Michal, Saul's daughter, when thou comest to see my face. And David sent messengers to Ishbosheth, Saul's son, saying, Deliver me my wife Michal, which I espoused to me for 100 foreskins of the Philistines. And Ishbosheth sent and took her from her husband, and even from Phaltiel, the son of Laish. And her husband went with her along, weeping behind her, to Bahurim. Then said Abner unto him, Go, return. And he returned. Verse 17. Israel is about to make David a king. And Abner had communication with the elders of Israel, saying, Ye sought for David in times past to be king over you. Now then do it, for the Lord hath spoken of David, saying, By the hand of my servant David I will save my people Israel out of the hand of the Philistines, and out of the hand of all their enemies. And Abner, in verse 19, also spake in the ears of Benjamin, and Abner went also to speak in the ears of David in Hebron, all that seemed good to Israel, and that seemed good to the whole house of Benjamin. So Abner came to David to Hebron, and 20 men with him. And David made Abner and the men that were with him a feast. And Abner said unto David, I will arise and go, and will gather all Israel unto my lord the king, that they may make a league with thee, and that thou mayest reign over all that thine heart may desireth. And David sent Abner away, and he went in peace. Verse 22, And behold, the servants of David and Joab came from pursuing a troop, and brought in a great spoil with him. But Abner was not with David in Hebron, for he had sent him away, and he was gone in peace. When Joab and all the host that was with him were come, they told Joab, saying, Abner the son of Ner came to the king, and he hath sent him away, and he is gone in peace. Then Joab came to the king and said, What hast thou done? Behold, Abner came unto thee. Why is it that thou hast sent him away, and he is quite gone? Quite gone. Thou knowest Abner the son of Ner, that came he to deceive thee, and to know thy going out and thy coming in, and to know all that thou doest. And when Joab was come out from David, he sent messengers after Abner, which brought him again from the well of Sirah. But David knew it not. And when Abner was returned to Hebron, Joab took him aside in the gate to speak with him quietly, and smote him there under the 5th rib, that he died for the blood of Asahel, his brother. And afterward, when David heard it, he said, I and my kingdom are guiltless before the Lord forever from the blood of Abner the son of Ner. Let it rest on the head of Joab, and on all his father's house, and let there not fail from the house of Joab one that hath an issue, or that is a leper, or that leaneth on a staff, or that falleth on the sword, or that lacketh bread. Verse 30, So Joab and Abishai his brother slew Abner, because he had slain their brother Asahel at Gibeon in the battle. Oh, David's gonna feel, okay, David's gonna mourn on Abner now. David just, for being no, I'm not gonna call David a mass murderer, but David does have a heart, though, and I think it's because God has showed David how to love. David clearly isn't, I won't say that, okay, so we won't classify David as a mass murderer, but we will clearly say David will take out 10,000 men if he needs to, without a problem, and lead men into victory through war. So David does know how to fight a battle, I guess you can put it at that, and win a chess game, okay? But he also knows how to sit there and, for a good, in his eyes, a good guy, his heart breaks. He has a heart as well. I think that describes a lot of people today, is like, there's a murder, and it's just like, oh, he's heartless, and it's like, no, I think that the evil part of his heart is what actually made him go on a killing spree. I don't know. Let's go into verse 31. And David said to Joab and to all the people that were with him, Rend your clothes and gird you with sackcloth, and mourn before Abner. And King David himself followed the bier. And they buried Abner in Hebron. And the king lifted up his voice and wept at the grave of Abner. And all the people wept. And the king lamented over Abner and said, Died Abner as a fool dieth? Thy hands were not bound, nor thy feet put into fetters. As a man falleth before wicked men, so fellest thou. And all the people wept again over him. And when all the people came to cause David to eat meat while it was yet day, David swears, saying, So do God to me, and more also, if I taste bread or out else till the sun be down. And all the people took notice of it, and it pleased them, as whatsoever the king did pleased all the people. For all the people and all Israel understood that day that it was not of the king to slay Abner the son of Ner. And the king said unto his servants, Know ye not that there is a prince and a great man fallen this day in Israel? And am I this day weak, though anointed king? And these men, the sons of Zeruiah, be too hard for me. The Lord shall reward the doer of evil according to his wickedness. He's saying, you know what, you guys want to I'll reward you with evil doings by evil prizes. So with that being said, when I read through chapter 3, I think that's why I was like, I got stuck and I didn't go through with 4, because it hit me in the head just like Isaiah recently hit me in the head. Isaiah 1:16 was it? And so this chapter 3, I wanted there to be a lesson, and there's a lesson definitely today, is turn from your evil ways, because it's definitely happening to David now, where he should have seen where he should have learned from Saul. He didn't. So David should have learned from Saul, and clearly there's pretty much a prophecy going on right here in the 2nd book of Samuel towards the end. He's pretty much saying, Where were we at? Where were we at? It hit me in the head. Now I gotta go back and study. And I know last night when I was reading, I said, don't go on to 4. You gotta stop there. I think it took a minute and had me fall back and start reading a little bit more in my own self and ways. And that's how usually the living word happens. It hits you as you're living currently in that moment. And I am this day weak, though anointed king, and these men, the sons of Zeruiah, be too hard for me. The Lord shall reward the doer of evil according to his wickedness. Yeah, it's just saying, like, look, I'm just, you want a reward, you're gonna get one. As you give, you get back. Kind of like karma, for those in understanding blatant terms. But ladies and gentlemen, I want to let you guys get up and get going about your Thursday. My Friday from day work has came to a close, so it's a weekend time, but not from study. So I'm going to dive deeper inside this. I think we'll come back with second book of Samuel 4 and 5 tomorrow, okay? God bless everybody.